What's up, everybody? Jason, I'm New Age Revolution Cave here on Christmas Eve. It is a very special Christmas Eve edition of the Power Hour, and it is featuring, after much delay, the long-awaited debut of the Fighting Campbell brothers on the Power Hour. That's right. Friends of the New 80s Revolution, for sure. Bobby Campbell. I knew Bobby Campbell before I knew Tommy Campbell, because Bobby reached out to me, and he had a son, a young son, who he started collecting toys, and he and his dad were a fan of the channel, and made their own little YouTube channel with showing off some of Rocky's toys. Now Bobby is he's a celebrity. He's the first induction into the New 80s Revolution Celebrity Friends Hall of Fame. Bobby Campbell is a professional fighter. He's a professional kickboxer, and has won many championships, many world championships, and in his semi-retirement has developed his own promotion company, Jackhammer Promotions, and he promotes fights in New York, and has invited me many times to come see him and come see his show, even sometimes to be a part of his show, to be in his corner, and what a fun thing that would be. And I just never could make it, but I'm going to. At some point, I'm going to go see a Jackhammer production. And they're just, and Bobby's just been a great friend and a great fan of the channel. And then I got to meet his brother, Tommy, who's also just, a professional face puncher. And, together the Campbell brothers just are just fun, great people and fun to talk to. And they sent some video questions in. And wait till you see these two guys interact. And tell me that you just don't immediately just love them, because they're fantastic. And it means a lot to me that people do this and send in questions, but the Campbells, go ahead and make a whole production of it, and seemed like they had a good time asking the questions. So without further ado, maybe I can be the ring announcer at one of your, well, no, that would cause way too much anxiety. Maybe I'll just be in your corner. I'll just come out, maybe I'll have my, don't you put your hands on the guy's shoulder? Like, I'll come out, just walk you down to the ring. Without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, the Fighting Campbell brothers, Bobby and Tomas, Roberto and Tomas Campbell, the Fighting Campbells, and their fantastic questions, their contributions to the Power Hour. Let's answer them.
This is the one question, but we were very disappointed. We are at Predatory Fins right now, and actually the owner of this place, a big fish place, the owner of this place is actually going to be fighting on one of our YouTube boxing events coming up at Jackhammer Promotions. Yep. But that'll be in the future. But we are going to ask you some questions. We got some questions for you.
That's right.
Before we get to the questions, I just want to let you know that my son, big part of this channel is because my son collects toys because of Jason. That's definitely what's going on. And my brother got him some toys for Christmas, and what happened?
What happened? Well, he was excited.
He was excited. But when you said, "Oh, you want to take a video of the gingerbread houses," what did my son
that's right.
do?
I was taking a video for my own social media, and right away, as soon as I said, "Hey, Bob, you want to take a video?" he was like, "Oh, we got to take a video." And he ran in there. He grabbed all his toys. He's like, "Let's make a video. I'm going to show everybody my toys."
So he put all the toys on the table, and that's because of Jason Nupp. Also, his favorite store is the Vintage Toy Store, which is because of Jason Nupp. So I thank you, and actually I hate you too. I think I'm going to hate you because my wallet
hates you.
Yeah, my wallet hates you. But, so we have questions. We have Christmas questions.
Questions.
So if he answers this, it might be answered like 2 years from now. But Christmas questions. My first question, Tom has a list here, and I'm definitely going out of order. If you wanted me to ask what's your favorite ornament, I'm not going to do that. I want to have a good question. Okay. What is your favorite blow mold? The blow mold. Not these new garbage ones, the blow mold. My favorite was the soldiers. the black hat soldiers, those are really going back to the beginning. And then they had the white hat soldiers, and they had the blue ones, which are my favorite. The blue ones, those are hard to get. What was your favorite blow mold?
Yeah, I think.
All right. What was my favorite blow mold? Let me tell you, I love the Campbells. Sitting there and listening to them, I could listen to them all day. Love the Campbells. My favorite blow mold. So I assume that you all are familiar with blow molds. They were the Christmas decorations of the 80s, big plastic, hollow, yard decoration things that came in all kinds of fun Christmas, iconic, images. Certainly the Santa blow molds. I think if you were among the elite of society, you would have the Santa with all the reindeer attached to, say, kind of like National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation there. That's a legitimate piece. My favorites, I think my uncle had them, and now I have them. Mine are simple. My favorite blow mold's very simple. They're the candles. They're the red candles with the yellow flame. Yes, of course, I love the Santa, and of course, I love, the mailboxes and the candy canes, the stuff that you. But the candles I thought were great. The candlesticks are my favorite blow molds, and I was at a garage sale last year or 2 years ago, and I bought them, and they're on my porch. We didn't do a whole lot of decorating outside this year. A lot of our blow-ups from last year died, and my giant 6-foot Santa died. Well, I think it's 9-foot Santa. He's not 6 feet. He's like 9 feet. My giant 9-foot Santa died this year. And so, last minute I went and got a couple of, Grinch. They weren't big. They were only like $39 from Walmart. And we just, since we came back from vacation, we don't even turn them on anymore. We got to get back into it next year. I do have the candles out there. They're on the porch, but you've got to, they're light. They don't even weigh a pound. I mean, they're ounces. So you have to stake them down somehow. And I've got a great way to stake them down. So I'm going to put the candles in the yard next year. We have the Santa blow mold mailbox, the Santa letter mailbox. I don't even know if my candles light up because I never replaced the bulbs. They had no bulbs when I bought them. I assume they do. It's from the 80s. It works. But anyway, to answer your question, my favorite is the candles. And one of the candles, I think my uncle had a candle that had a wreath on it, and the wreath said Noel. And that one's pretty awesome. All right, let's do the next batch from the Campbells.
Now, besides your favorite ornament, I don't think this is on Tom's question list, but
Okay.
I want to know your top 3. It doesn't have to be 1, 2, 3. It could just be top 3, just 3 in general. Favorite Christmas movies. Top 3. They could be anything. I don't know if you know the original Santa Claus, not with Tim Allen. The Santa Claus with patches. What is it called? Santa Claus. Right?
The Santa Claus.
Santa Claus. If you don't know,
Santa Claus the movie.
Santa Claus the movie from the 80s. That was one of my favorites. But I would like to know your 3 favorites. Doesn't have to be 1, 2, 3. Just your 3 favorites.
Top 3.
Yeah. Please don't say Toy Story.
Which one?
What is it? Christmas Story. I'm not a fan of Christmas Story anymore.
You know what?
After they do it 24/7, I wasn't a fan of it.
Yeah. It's okay.
I think it's overrated.
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 All right. So then going back to the Christmas tree and the ornament, what's your tree of choice? Is it artificial tree or real tree? So what do you go with? Artificial, real? Why you picked that one? And you got green tree. Actually, I think it has a green tree. I think you showed it on the channel. I think it's a green tree. But green tree, white tree, artificial, real. What's your tree choice?
And then, what's your bulb choice?
Ooh, that's a good one.
But how's it getting answered? You can't get C7s or C9s anymore.
No, you still can now.
Okay.
They came back.
Oh, they came back.
Yep.
Because nowadays lights are trash. If you look at the multiple colors nowadays, it's like purple and like neon blue.
It's not the classic.
Yeah, it's not classic.
It's not the classic colors.
Yeah,
like
which is
neon,
kind of like
bright colors.
The classic colors are kind of dull. A little bit dull, but that's classic. That's classic.
Right.
Yeah,
a little bit of the faded color.
Yeah, a little bit faded.
Okay, so bulb of choice. Okay. What else? Going back to the Christmas tree. Let's go back to the Christmas tree. Tinsel garland. Do you remember tinsel? I'm sure you do.
Right.
But do you Do you make your tree look like the old retro trees in the 80s? Do you put the tinsel and the garland on it to replicate like that 80s feel? Or do you have a more, I guess, newer type tree? Right?
Yeah.
What to go with? Yeah.
I was going to look at these questions.
Yeah, look at those questions. What else we got? We got questions for you, Jason. Questions.
Well, Tommy, both of you, if you were not both trained killers, if you were not both trained assassins, I would have to challenge you to a fisticuffs. You know, I would have to challenge you to throw hands if you weren't who you are, because I think that you just said that the Christmas Story was overrated. I think that's what I heard, but I kind of blacked out because that hurt my soul. My three favorite Christmas movies, well, A Christmas Story. It's just too special to me. It's just too special. It's a movie that I rented during the summer from a video store, from a mom and pop video store when I was a kid. I would rent The Christmas Story all year round. I would rent it all year round. And when it was on TV, I think it's still on TBS or TNT 24/7. We don't have those channels anymore. But when it was on, we'd leave it on. And I'm going to leave it on today. It's about 2:00 right now on Christmas Eve. And as soon as I'm done with this, I'm going to go up and we're going to just start the festivities. And I'm going to put my Blu-ray in of The Christmas Story, and I'm going to leave it on all day on one of the TVs. We're just going to have it on in the background all day. Because the sound of the movie, the sound of the narrator, Gene Shepard, I think it is, there's just there's so much goodness and so many memories of that movie. I can't get enough of The Christmas Story. National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation is absolutely on the list. It's a must-watch movie every year. My dad's calling. Sorry about that. My dad was calling in the middle of the video. A Christmas Vacation we watch every year. The kids have now seen it. They love it. So that's up there. Since having children, we call it the George Christmas. I don't really know what the name of the movie is, but it's Curious George, and it's a full length. It's like an hour and 10 minutes, hour and 20 minute movie. But it's Curious George's Christmas, and we've been watching it since Liam was probably 3, and I love it. We watch it every year. We've already watched it this year. Well, obviously it's Christmas Eve, but I love it. I love the Curious George Christmas. In fact, you guys should check. You know, let little Rocky, let Rocky 1 watch Curious George Christmas. It's so good. It's not a silly WXXI cartoon. I mean, Curious George is a WXXI cartoon. That's PBS. WXXI is the local affiliate, but it's a PBS cartoon, but it's really, really good. It is a great cartoon, and they do a great Halloween special, and they do a great Christmas special. We just call it George Christmas. I don't know what it's called. Other movies I have, obviously It's a Wonderful Life I didn't watch it this year, but I love Jimmy Stewart anyway, so that's a good movie. We didn't watch Gremlins this year. I didn't watch Die Hard, but Gremlins is a pretty good one. But the top three that, A Christmas Story, obviously, and Christmas Vacation, and then George Christmas. Now, as far as the tree goes, we had a real tree once. I had a real tree once as an adult in this house, and it was okay. I didn't need it. My grandparents would get real trees towards the end of, so maybe the last 5-10 years of their life, they'd have a real tree. And it didn't do anything for me. It didn't mean anything. We have a pretty nice fake tree right now. I think I paid like $2.99 for it or something at this store called the At Home Store, and it's frosted. It's got like white on it, white tips. It was pre-lit at one point, but it's so obnoxious to plug in correctly all of the lights on the pre-lit tree, so I don't even turn the lights on anymore. I just wrap lights around it. And it does the job, and it's thick and it's full and it's lovely. So I'm okay with not having a real tree. Our bulbs, we don't even have, we have a few bulbs. And I know what you're talking about when you say bulbs. Because when we were kids, you'd get a box of bulbs, literally, very breakable, cheap ornaments that were just bulbs with the little hanging thing on it, and you'd have bulbs on your tree. I don't know if a lot of people do bulbs anymore. I've said bulbs about 11 times in this. Our ornaments this year are really just family-based ornaments that we've collected over the years. We'd get a new ornament for the kids each year. We'd get back in different times, we'd get anniversary ornaments. When we go to Universal, we get an ornament. I have ornaments from childhood that I've showed you in previous videos. And, so our tree is full with ornaments that we get them every, like when we start getting excited about Christmas, around September, November, October, they start putting ornaments out. We'll grab one. We were at one of the home stores, in October, and they started putting out Christmas ornaments, and the kids were excited. So Liam got a sushi ornament, because he likes sushi, and Finley bought a cup of coffee ornament because, my 7-year-old drinks coffee. So he's got a coffee ornament. So it's stuff like that. Tinsel and garland, I certainly remember. Yes, of course. In fact, I think we all called it tinsel, and I think the official name was garland. But that horrible stringy stuff that you'd put around your tree, and why would I say horrible? It's not horrible. It's just, it gets everywhere. And I don't know. I think at one point my grandmother was always worried that the dog would choke on it, or even we'd choke on it. I don't know why we would choke on it. But we certainly had previous years as in childhood where the big roll of garland would be brought out and you'd wrap it around the tree. Silver, gold, red garland. It adds a very distinct childhood 80s look to a tree. Absolutely. We did do popcorn garland at one point in childhood. I think when the kids were younger, we tried doing popcorn with them as well. What about candy canes? Do you remember putting candy canes on your tree? We don't do that. We have, but then the kids just are constantly eating candy canes. But I remember candy canes on the tree. I remember pipe cleaner. Remember pipe cleaner candy canes? Or pipe cleaner art in general when you were in school? They were that, bendable, fuzzy kind of stuff. And then you'd put little beads on it, and then you could bend it into a candy cane. That's, even just talking about that's getting me all emotional. Because I remember making those, and I remember them being on my grandmother's tree. The candy cane pipe cleaners that we'd make in 3rd grade. So that's my decoration answers for you.
Your thoughts on candy canes? What are your thoughts on candy canes? Do you like candy canes? Do you not like candy canes?
What are your thoughts on them?
I mean, if we go like nowadays, they make all these flavors.
All the different flavors.
But back in the day, the cherry candy canes were
yes.
the best.
So there was pretty much only the red peppermint or the colored one. That was the cherry.
Yeah.
And that cherry, as a kid, was like
the best.
Lights out. That was the best candy cane.
So what's your thoughts on candy canes? Do you like candy canes? Or do you not like candy canes?
Put them on your tree? I don't know. What do you do?
Do you put them on your tree? Or do you just look at them?
Yeah.
What's your thoughts?
What else we got? Oh, this is a good one too. Right here. That last question right there on the list. That's a good one.
What's your favorite 80s Christmas commercial?
He's got to have one.
Gotta have one.
It
could be a McDonald's one. It could be anything. I don't know why it's the McDonald's, to be honest. Like
McDonald's,
Hess truck probably has some of the best, but
Hess truck's a good one. Actually.
Yeah, Hess truck's definitely good.
I didn't think of that one.
Well,
there wasn't McDonald's ones in my head.
Oh, really?
Of course, everybody's going to say Hershey's, the Hershey's Kiss one, but That's a great commercial.
Coca-Cola.
Coca-Cola. Ooh, Coca-Cola has some good ones, actually.
I'm going to go
All
with
right.
Hess. I'm going to go with Hess. I don't know
Hess.
which Hess, but I'm going to go with Hess.
Okay. Yep.
Other than that, Happy New Year. Well, we might see this questions answered in 2 years from now.
Well,
in 2 years, we're still having the same questions.
You know what? He might be able to sneak it in this Sunday. Because if you look at the program guide, this Sunday is
the 80s out.
Power Hour. So maybe we can get this on there.
Power Hour.
On Christmas Eve. Sneak it right in before Christmas.
Sneak it in. If not, sneak it in the day before. If not, sneak it in 2 days before. If not, do it right now. It right now.
You could do it afterwards, and then it'll be a retro because it'll be going back in time, right? So it'll be retro Power Hour.
You back from vacation. You got time now. Do it now.
Do it
Do it
now.
now.
All right.
Have fun. Do it now. And I hope you get a lot of toys
That's
for
it.
Christmas from Santa Claus.
All right. Well, Merry Christmas to you and your family.
Peace out.
Well, I kind of just answered the candy cane question. I love the hard hitting, the Campbell brothers cracked themselves up and me. What are your thoughts on candy canes? I feel like, it's Oprah. I'm on the Oprah show and she's hitting me. What are your thoughts on candy canes? What are your thoughts on race relations in America and candy canes? Yeah, like I said, I love candy canes. And I agree with you. I do have, there is something very comforting about a peppermint candy cane. Absolutely comforting about a peppermint candy cane. But I also, more than peppermint candy canes, I truly do love the fruit flavored candy canes. I do. And yes, they have expanded like crazy into the candy market. You've got Skittles flavored, you've got Starburst flavored. I'm sure you got Sour Patch candy cane type things. All kind of candy canes. I also like the blue raspberry candy canes with the, they're blue, two shades of blue. Peppermint is iconic. Peppermint has its place in life. But the fruity candy canes I truly like. Now, again, I have had candy canes on the tree in the past. I have nothing against candy canes on the tree. I do not have anything against it. We just haven't. I have a feeling that Finley would probably eat all of them in a sitting. We would just come in the room and the candy canes would be gone and wrappers would be all around him. So, we don't put candy canes out anymore, but I think it's great. I think it's a great tradition. Now, if this were, I think next year, the way we're gonna not remodel the house, but we're gonna kind of rearrange the house a little bit. A lot of the toys are coming down. We have a room that's just toys and board games and wrestlers all behind the couch. Things are a-changing. It's kind of sad, but I'm kind of looking forward to it too. So we're gonna be doing a little interior design changes in the house, and I think we're gonna have 2 trees next year. If I had my way, I would have an 80s Christmas tree with the tinsel, with the garland, maybe with the popcorn and the candy canes and the bulbs. Yes, I would do that. And maybe I will in the future. I don't have the 80s support that I once did. I don't think the 2 children would want it. I know their mothers certainly wouldn't. But, if I could, maybe I'll have an 80s tree. Maybe I will. Maybe I'll do it down here. How about that? That solves the problem. I'll get a put together tree, an assembly required tree. I'll put it down here and we'll decorate it 80s. And when we do our Christmas shows next year, because I'm not going to Florida next year, when we do our Christmas stuff, when we do our shows in December, all the whole month of December, I'll have a tree in the background, an 80s decorated tree. Thank you very much, Campbell's. I think the questions got mixed up, but I think you did mention do I like the blow-ups? I do. I think Bobby said they grew on him. I didn't for a couple of years. I like a couple of prominent blow. I don't want a yard full of blow-ups. I don't. I need my gigantic Santa back. I need my 9-foot Santa back. And I'd like a bigger Grinch, maybe a 6-foot Grinch, maybe even bigger. And then I just want kind of maybe an ark. an arch that just says Merry Christmas, something like that. And that's it. 3 large blow ups in my yard. And then the blow molds scattered throughout. And those come on during the day. And the way I have the electricity set up, the lights come on at night, the blow molds go down during the day, or the blow ups. I don't keep the blow ups up at night. I let them die at night, and then they come back to life during the day when the lights are off on the house. Anyway, what was the last question? What did Bobby say? What was the last big question? Oh crap! I got to go back and look now. Of course, it was the Christmas commercial question. So I watched these questions just now because I wanted to have, unrehearsed answers. I would really have to, obviously the McDonald's Christmas commercials are great. I think there's a Cabbage Patch Christmas commercial where like the grandparents are coming over and they have to meet the kids. They have to like meet their great grandchild, but it's a Cabbage Patch doll. I do like the Hershey's Kisses one, where I think Bobby mentioned it, where they're in a kind of a triangle and they're playing music. I think there were some where I think there was one, it might have even been for a telephone company, but a kid was calling his mom at Christmas time and like came home and surprised her, but they talked on the phone first. It was for like, it might have been for like Bell Telephone or something like that. I don't know. There's so many good, just memorable, but McDonald's Christmas commercials you can't touch. They're just too special. You can't touch McDonald's Christmas commercials at all. Yeah, and again, it's lost. All of the stuff that we're talking about, obviously, it can be brought back. Blow molds and blow ups and trees, but the commercials, that's kind of a thing of the past. So the Campbells, folks, you met the Campbells. They are fantastic people, and I hope they have happy holidays and Christmases and whatever. And Rocky, he's a great kid, and I've watched and continue to watch Bobby and Tommy, interact with Rocky and his toy collection. And yes, as you heard, it was established as a result of me. I take great pride in that. But the Campbells, ladies and gentlemen, 2 years a-coming. They have finally got their questions on the Power Hour. Let's see if I have any wrap them up questions for you. Probably not. Well, I don't want to do the grief question on Christmas Eve. There's how do I handle grief and loss of loved ones? I don't want to do that one today. So a shorter Power Hour, but that's okay. It's Christmas Eve. Go enjoy your families. And tomorrow I'm going to do 2 videos. I'm going to do an LJN video. We're going to keep it true to the schedule. And then of course we do the Christmas haul video. And so we'll do 2 videos tomorrow. Merry Christmas, everybody. From the New 80s Revolution family to yours, whatever you're celebrating, whoever you're with, please have a great day and be happy. And again, I don't care if you're with a gigantic family or if you're laying on your couch by yourself. Get some joy out of today. For whatever reason special to you, get some joy out of today. And if you have nothing to do, go ahead and watch my old videos. They bring smiles to people's faces, so I've heard. And sitting down here and talking with you guys is, as I've said before, means more to me than it does to you. Trust me. You may enjoy these. You may be a fan. But this coming down here and talking to you guys, especially in the state that the room is in now, I feel that this room has never been in a more comforting state as I'm staring at the owl lamp and Mr. T. This room has never been in a more comforting state, more inviting state, and I've never needed it more than I did this year. And we'll recap the year. We're going to do kind of a year in review recap where I just give thanks to you guys and recap my year. Wasn't the best year at all, but we'll talk about that. So that's all for now. We'll see you tomorrow. Merry Christmas, and see you tomorrow. Good night now.